Yo, what is good, world? It's your boy, Calvin Leroy King, the third. And as always, I got my lovely co-hosts with the most by my side, Miss Reezy PC, the one and only.
Hey, y'all.
And we thank y'all for tuning in and turning up for another dope episode of This, That, and the Third, the lifestyle show that gives you life. Literally. Now, first and foremost, we're going to begin the show in the best fashion we know how, and that's by shouting out our sponsors. Now, this month, This, That, and the Third is brought to you by none other than the Chicago Urban League. Can we please slow clap the Urban League? Come on, man. Doing big things for the black community, including their mentoring mixer, which is taking place
tonight.
About an hour. All right, so pop out and pull up to the Alpha Space, the beginning of Everything Fly, and that's at 2014 South Michigan Avenue, right here in Chicago. All right, so let's jump into some new news for all you new news, and beginning with news, this is America.
Yes,
and
sad to say.
Are you surprised? So I'm assuming this is some bad news about America. What's to it? What's to it? Tell me.
It's been bad, nothing but bad news recently. And I was going to report on this last week, but I was just like, no, hoping that
there'll be more bad news next week.
Fixed. No, I was hoping that it'd be fixed. So do you know that over more than 2,500 children have been separated from their parents?
Now, I have been seeing headlines about this. Haven't been reading any of the articles. Please tell me what's to it.
The Mexican government condemning the president's zero-tolerance policy, calling it cruel and inhumane. Officials there pointing to one case involving a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was separated from her mother last week and sent to a detention center in Texas.
Sure.
On Fox News overnight, former Trump advisor Corey Lewandowski mocked the mention of the young girl.
I read today about a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage. I read about did you say want to a 10-year-old with Down syndrome being taken from her mother?
Pick anything you want up at the...
Now, anger and frustration is mounting on Capitol Hill, with leaders in the president's own party saying they are eager to change the separation policy.
What is Trump up to?
So this was his law, his policy, and Jeff Sessions, of course, stood behind it and was going to follow through with it. Or I should say they have been following through with it, right?
Now, what's Jeff Sessions' role? What is his title?
Attorney General.
Attorney General. Okay, I'm clear.
And so basically any immigrant that has been trying to cross the border, and this is not just Mexico, because I think most people at first thought it was just Mexicans crossing over and they're separating them. No.
Wait, if it's not just Mexicans, who is it?
This is every
non-soil-born American?
which really should only be black people.
Yeah, that only leaves the Navajo tribe and the Susquehannons.
Right, those that are left.
Right.
But no, this is like people from Honduras, El Salvador, just everywhere. So I'm like, well, how are they crossing the borders through the water, right? So
good swimmers.
Come to find out, ICE in Ohio, they have went to like a couple factories twice. In Toledo, Ohio, yesterday, it was like the second largest raid of factory workers. You know what I'm saying? Right. So these are people who may have come in illegally, but have been here and have made a life for themselves in America for years.
And are producing. These motherfuckers are contributing to the GDP.
Well, and they have kids. Their kids are in school. Like, it's not, most of the time, it's not just them. So on the news yesterday, they showed the raid at this particular factory. Like, they probably marched out more than 50 workers.
Come on, man.
So those workers,
line it up.
Look, those workers left home. Kids they never returned.
Dude, where's my family?
Never returned.
My mom and dad worked at that factory.
So, yesterday, Trump signed an executive order, right, to stop separating families.
Oh, thank you. Finally.
Okay. Right. See, here's the thing. He started it.
Yes.
So now you come back and act like you're the hero. I've signed an executive order. We're going to make this better.
Try and see if we can fix it. Thank you very much.
But in the halls, a group of Democrats were waiting for it.
Mr. President, don't you have kids?
Two sources tell NBC News the president told Republicans he wants to see a solution for immigration that deals with border security, provides money for the wall, and reunites kids with families. And as the pressure builds, the president is doubling down. Speaking at a small business event earlier in the day, Mr. Trump literally hugging an American flag and taking a hard line.
We have no wall. We have no border security. Without a border, you don't have a country.
No, because even him signing that order, they still have no plan on how to get those kids back to those parents. And let's not even talk about the 1,500 kids that were misplaced. And they don't know where are they. They place them with sponsors.
Come on.
And their screening process is not the same screening process as if you were to become a foster parent or something like that.
For 13 cents a day, you can have this delinquent. And this is my thing. Let's not make America fake again, dog. You're faking like America's great by creating hella distracting problems that don't have nothing to do with the core rooted issues that we need to face and solve. Yeah. And then you're cleaning the same shit up. That's like breaking a dish, cleaning it up and being like, ta-da!
Yeah,
you broke it. You owe me a dish, bitch.
Yeah, you broke it.
You're not fooling anyone.
So the Homeland Security Secretary, Kirstjen Nielsen, she was trying to dine out.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen blasted by protesters overnight while trying to eat dinner at a Mexican restaurant in the nation's capital.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is in a Mexican restaurant of all places. The goal. Shame on you! Shame!
Nielsen tried to ignore the shouting before finally leaving.
But the food is so delicious. Would you not agree? I just had Mexican yesterday.
No,
I know why she went.
I love it, but
refried beans.
My thing is, don't eat their food. You don't like them. You don't respect them.
All it takes is one bold and beautiful motherfucker to come out of the woodworks and back your ass, and now you have a problem.
And then the next day he signed the executive order. So I think all of this has something to do with it. And then I saw, it just doesn't stop. Like, I just keep uncovering things.
There's a lot.
So there was a video out, and a lot of these kids are being housed at an old Walmart, right? So they've boxed.
What is this, a flood? Like, they know what they're doing, floods?
They already, here's the thing, they've already had these concentration camps put together.
Ready. They was ready.
So it's like, did y'all plan this?
This way.
So within these little Walmart facilities, they have 4 to 5 beds in an area. They get 3 meals a day, 2 snacks. They get 2 hours outside. They get to make 2 phone calls a week. And then I think they do get some schooling. They're learning civics and English, something like that. But it's just real. It's jail.
They're being Americanized. They're being Americanized.
And what is that quote that says? I think it was from Frederick Douglass that said it's easier.
Fuck y'all oppressors.
No, it says it's easier to build strong children and it's harder to repair broken men. And that's what I feel like with these kids. Like, you're breaking them. Yeah. Especially kids who are like 5 and 6.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because, one, I just feel like the people, it's not the systems that are broken. It is, in my opinion, it's the people that perpetrate the systems that are broken, right?
Yeah.
So who is this worker that is doing this shit, ushering probably people at gunpoint to get into these concentration camps or whatever you want to call them, whatever?
ICE.
Okay, but who
is
works
ICE?
for them?
I never really even heard of ICE until recently.
What the fuck does that stand for? I thought that was a goddamn vanilla ice track, Z.
I was confused. I was like, ISIS? Yeah. Who is ICE? I just didn't get
not ISIS, ICE us. Nigga, this is the U.S. version of ISIS.
Yeah, so
These
motherfuckers bad.
are domestic terrorists, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And they're, again, man, doing things that they know they wouldn't stand for. Or maybe they would, but they know is not right. And they wouldn't want it to happen to them or their people. So why would you do this to other people just because it's not your people?
Because they can, and they did it before, slave trades, you know, like we
We've
were
learned
not
nothing over the past 500 years.
Come on now, and after just celebrating Juneteenth,
right?
I mean, it's like, I feel like history is repeating itself.
So let me ask you this, because it does do that. Now, let me ask you this, though. Is non-native born people, are they doing this to African Americans that were born here? Or is it just, you just were not born in the United States and therefore you're eligible for this treatment?
It's more, well, it's all, I feel like it's all, I'm going to say brown.
Brown, yeah.
So anybody that's Latina, Hispanic, right? And it's usually the parents, because most of the kids are born here. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these parents are not coming home from work. I was watching on Vice, I want to say, and they showed the husband didn't return from work because they went to the factory or the job or the farm fields, wherever they're working, and they're sweeping them up. And then usually the kids are left with one parent. That parent is already struggling. In this particular situation, the parent, they have 4 other families living in the house.
Right.
Just to
make it. Meat. Yeah. And what's the most messed up to me is kind of the fact that it's just one of those things where it's like, this is going to ultimately disempower us and disproportionately impact us, because what are they producing? What are they manufacturing? And what are you getting in front of them? You know what I'm saying? They're taking the jobs nobody wants. And these shits kind of serve as fuel for the economy, serve as fuel for, different industries.
Same thing about that.
And you're snatching people out of it, and then you're going to be like, dude, where's my salt? Where's my pepper? You're like, nigga, you took the people that make pepper to jail. What are you talking about, G? It's going to come back to haunt us.
That's true.
So this shit ain't funny.
It's not funny. It's unfortunate. It's really hurtful, though, to see the kids in these fucking cages.
Yeah.
Don't speak any English,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the officers aren't nice.
Yeah, oh no, hell no. And then you gotta think also the impact this is gonna have on this trauma that I feel like America is forcing and inflicting on these young people. Motherfuckers ain't just gonna honor that shit and be like, oh, I'm just gonna
like
repress my feelings.
a revolution.
When I grow up, man, they
man.
gonna see the fuck up, and I'm going to identify myself as not that nigga that arrested you, G. I want no smoke with these kids when they become teens. Fuck young adults, teens. They'll let their nuts hang and just turn up on the country.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for more. What's going on with school? Apparently not being safe? I thought school, well, no, I didn't. After Columbine, it was all downhill from there. What's happening now?
So this is dealing with CPS
Oh.
and their sexual assault scandals.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Wait, tell me more.
Over 72 students have come out over the course of 10 years that have been sexually assaulted.
And this is unfortunate. I was hoping you were going to say this was with adults, like my teachers are being, by the principal or something.
No.
Not the case. You're talking about
They're messing with babies.
Come on, man.
And they have been covering it up. That's the sickening part. Like, not only did some administrations and people know that Professor Bob was messing with Susan.
Professor Bob.
You know what I'm saying?
Dean Bob, motherfucker. He ain't no professor. That's college.
Yeah.
In college, you legal, I guess. High school, middle school.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not even just high school. It's like elementary. Let's say elementary. And it's bad, and I don't understand. So I'm just saying this to tell parents, like, you have to open up the conversation with your kids.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say, how's it going? Did anybody touch you today?
No! Just gonna jump right into it, huh? Hey, can you pass me that paprika? And how is your private parts?
Because after I saw this on the news, I called the boys in there like, if
get in
anybody
here.
Touches you,
watch this shit.
Knock his ass
Now
or
let's
her
discuss
ass out. Just because this is serious, and a lot of these kids haven't talked about it, and now that this is coming up, and some of them have come out, now they're dealing with it, but it may have happened years ago. It's like,
what are we gonna? He retired. She retired. What do we do now? This is my thing. What do you have to say about the association with young people saying, man, I don't respect you unless you give me a reason to respect you. I don't respect you unless you respect me. And kind of having that, our teachers are like disrespected and not feared and not looked at as authority figures. Is that maybe a good thing? Because maybe that'll decrease these occurrences if kids bug up on teachers that try that shit.
I don't agree with the whole, I gotta respect you. You a goddamn kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But when they have that type of approach to all adults, and you have adults that are not acting in their best interest, could you see how we end up with this type of situation?
No, because my kids and your kids are going to be respectful, but they understand, don't put your hands on me because you're going to get knocked out by me and then my parent.
And she got to pick you up, wake you up, smack your
you know what I'm saying?
Back to sleep.
So I don't think it has nothing to do with respect. I do think it has something to do with preying on the weak. So those who may not have a solid home foundation, those who, as the superintendent says, has poor home life.
Diverse learners.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But
I would like to know how many of these 72 young people, and I'm sure if it's 72 that came out, it's 7,200 that didn't.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Me 3.
Yeah, but how many are like valedictorians, A students, B students? Like,
I would like to see the breakdown. I mean, I wouldn't like to see it because this is disgusting that it's even happening, but it would be interesting to see, like, who are they disproportionately targeting?
Yeah.
And how many, I mean, not even how many, but is this a one-to-one thing, or is this one person doing it to multiple students? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's one person. I think it's multiple people, different schools. It's not just, this all just didn't happen at one school. So it's throughout
Which
CPS.
Is worse,
which is worse, yeah. So
now it's a culture thing.
It is. And I saw something similar to this. This was in Ohio, though, but it was about 3 pastors.
We knew that.
3 pastors that have been like molesting girls. ages 14. I don't think they were older than 16. And was paying, like giving her money and stuff to basically be quiet.
Get them J's.
You would affect my family if you said something. And then like would pass her off to the other two. Like it's sick. It's some sick people out here. So watch your babies.
Power is, it's like I don't know how you say it, but like Venom, the Spider-Man's nemesis, Venom, the Black Spider-Man, and that shit gets on him, and it consumes him. Yeah. It's consuming. Power is consuming. And when you feel like, man, I'm the pastor, or I'm the principal, or I'm the teacher in this particular classroom, I have authority, ultimate seemingly authority in this space. Yeah. Motherfuckers show their ass, G. That's unfortunate, but it's a thing.
Whew, okay.
All right. What's going on with IGTV? Tell me more.
So, just saw this. This is breaking news, right?
You heard it here first on this and third.
If you notice on IG now, IG is offering TV. So you can post a 60-minute video, whereas before you can only post a minute, 57 seconds at most. But now they'll have a whole section and you can post your full videos. And really it's for the users to be able to reach their followers.
If you have one.
Yeah. But it's similar to, you know, Netflix, because basically they're like millennials watch everything on their phone.
True.
Everything. Netflix, HBO, and then Facebook. Since Facebook does on Instagram, I wasn't surprised because if you notice, Facebook has a tab where you can watch all different types of shows.
Let me get that.
You haven't used it?
No, actually, I have used it just for sports shows.
See?
Yeah.
But so Instagram will be
offering that. I watched my First Take and Undisputed on Facebook.
Really?
And I just feel like, man, it kind of, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame, but we've been moving in this direction for a while now. And it's like, one, did you realize, like, everybody, including us, we have our own fucking channel. We literally have our own channel, G. I have my own channel on IG. I have my own channel on YouTube. I have my own channel on Facebook, etc.
You don't think about it like that,
and
but
now, if that's where everybody is going to consume their entertainment, now TV and network television, they had to follow the individuals to where they were, man. You got to meet people where they at. And I think this is a powerful move for IG. Because if you remember the evolution of IG used to just be pictures.
Pictures, yeah. It took them a long time for them to post videos.
And then they allowed you 15-second videos.
15, like how
and
can you
then
get out?
They allowed you 60 seconds and multiple pictures. So they've been growing in this direction for a while.
And
so
I
it's
like
about time.
Instagram.
Yeah, I rock with IG. Did you check how they changed like the top 2 buttons? And it's now like how you used to hit your envelope for your DMs. Yeah. That changed, or at least the look of it changed. Now there's something next to it.
And then something next to it. I think that's the
Okay.
the
And then
TV.
I see a Facebook tab and something else on the top left.
Facebook tab?
I swear on my IG, when I go to my IG, there's a Facebook tab and something else, and it tells me like a certain amount of alerts that I'm getting.
Oh, there is a tab. It lets you know what Facebook friends have signed on to Instagram.
Come on, man.
Which,
why are you just getting here?
Yeah.
It's already been started.
And and I'm like, no. Sometimes I like to build a whole new following. To reach different
Separate
people.
the two. I'm clear. Yeah. All right, but last but not least, wrapping us up in news this week on this and the third, Mrs. Huxtable is back. Yeah. Please tell me this is Felicia Rashad and not some weak imitation.
No.
Please.
No, so Felicia Rashad is here in Chicago, and she is directing a play called The Roommate at the Steppenwolf Theater.
Do you think she would like me if she met me?
I think you would make her laugh.
Do you agree that you remind people of Felicia Rashad?
I do. Okay. In high school and college, I was Miss Huxtable.
You give them a little shoulder and you take it right back. I swear, she looks like Claire, G. Yes, especially today. Happenstance as hell.
Yeah, so she is going to be at the Steppenwolf Theater. She also, interviews now that after she spoke out about the Bill Cosby situation, she does not take any questions. And
I will walk off like LeBron on y'all.
Because do you remember her Dateline interview about that? She basically said she thinks it's somebody trying to attack his legacy. She's like, it has nothing to do with the women or if he did or if he didn't. She was like, I'm a woman, so I can understand what they're going through. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I'm saying all of this was orchestrated to attack his legacy.
This is my thing. If indeed it did happen, if indeed he is a predator, if indeed he did all these devious things to women, why didn't he choose Claire? I don't believe it. I would have went after Claire first.
He had the best
then the person that played my mom. No, I like the old peppery head lady too. Like I would have went after the cast First and foremost, beginning with Claire.
I mean,
if he didn't do that, I think something's awry.
Felicia was bad. And so,
oh my stars.
If you get a chance, go to the Steppenwolf Theater, check her out.
Check her out. And that about wraps us up for entertainment this week on This and the Third.